We've all been there, right? You've got this urgent project, a super tight deadline, and all you need is a simple signature or one piece of data from another department. You rush over, feeling the pressure, only to slam right into a brick wall. Well, today, let's talk about how to turn that wall into a doorway. Oof, this quote right here, that is the sound of a project grinding to a dead stop. It's exactly what a colleague, we'll call her Abby, heard from the finance team when she desperately needed a signature for a new product launch. She was totally shut down, super frustrated, and just couldn't understand why getting help was so difficult. It's a painfully familiar story, isn't it? And that really gets to the heart of it all. You're running around like your hair's on fire, but to them, it doesn't even register as a puff of smoke. So the real question is, why should they care? The answer isn't because they're bad people. It's because the whole system is basically designed to create this exact kind of friction. So let's dive into our first section here and really unpack this dilemma. It feels personal when you get shot down, but the truth is, it's all structural. Understanding the invisible rules of the game is the very first step to changing how you play it. Okay, so check this out. This slide really shows you the two completely different worlds we're living in at work. In your department, on the left, you've got your manager's blessing, you have a clear mission. But then look to the right. That other department, well, they've got their own manager, their own key performance indicators or KPIs, the specific things they're judged on, and their own list of priorities. To them, your urgent request is just an unexpected, unrewarded hassle that gets in the way of their actual work. So this is where we have to make a huge mindset shift. The goal isn't just getting that one-time signature from finance. Honestly, that's thinking way too small. The real goal, the long game, is to build the kind of influence where people actually want to help you, even when they're slammed. And that leads us right into our second section, building what we're going to call your hidden influence. This is all the foundational work you do before you're in a crisis. That way, when you do need help, you're not starting from scratch. Think of it this way. You can't just walk into a bank where you have no account and no history and ask for a massive loan, right? It just doesn't work that way. Well, it's the exact same thing with professional relationships. You've got to make deposits of goodwill and trust long before you ever need to make withdrawal. So, how do you actually make these deposits? It's way easier than you think. First, just pay attention. When you're grabbing coffee, ask them what they're working on. Second, share something useful. Maybe it's an article you read about an industry trend or a cool new tool you found. Third, and this part is absolutely critical, expect nothing back. This is not a transaction. It's about showing that you're a helpful, valuable colleague. Over time, that's what builds real, genuine trust. Okay, but what if you've done all that and you still hit a brick wall? Sometimes your request is just way at the bottom of the other team's to-do list. That's when you need to bring in the bigger guns. It's time to strategically use your manager's influence. Now, this isn't about tattling on someone. It's about raising the official priority. See, when your manager gets involved, your small request is no longer just your small request. It becomes a project that needs progress reports. It becomes a project that, the bosses are watching. And suddenly, the priority level magically changes for everyone. All right, so you've been building your influence, and you've got your manager's support ready to go. Now for the moment of truth. This brings us to our third section, making an ask that's basically impossible to refuse. It's all about how you frame your request. This right here is the single biggest mistake most of us make. We say things like, but this is good for the company. And yeah, it's probably true, but the person you're talking to is thinking, okay, but what's in it for me? How does this help me hit my targets this quarter? You have to start speaking their language. And this slide is pretty much your secret decoder ring for how to do it. Just look at this table. Instead of asking finance for some numbers, you frame it as, this could help us pinpoint a new revenue stream. Bam, that speaks directly to their profitability KPI. For the sales team, you don't just ask for data, you say, this info will help you close your quarterly target faster. For engineering, it's not another annoying task, it's a way to prevent future bugs and save on tech debt. See, you're not asking for a favor anymore, you're helping them solve their problems. Now, our final strategy might seem a little backwards at first. Nobody wants to take on the boring, thankless jobs in a project, right? Well, maybe we should. These tasks, the ones everyone else tries to avoid, are actually a hidden source of power. When you volunteer to, say, write the meeting minutes or manage the project tracker, you gain something called expert power. You become the central hub for all the information. You get to control the narrative of the project. And when everyone, including the managers, starts coming to you for updates, your voice suddenly carries a whole lot more weight. Your influence just grows naturally. So, when you start putting all of these strategies together, something really fundamental starts to change. You stop being just another person on the team, and you start becoming the core talent that holds projects and people together. This is the ultimate transformation we're talking about. You're no longer just a doer, someone who checks boxes and completes assigned tasks. You become a strategic achiever, someone who understands how the whole organization works and knows how to make things happen no matter what. So, here it is, your new playbook all wrapped up. First, build that favor bank proactively. Second, always understand what other departments' priorities and KPIs are. Third, frame every single request you make as a win-win. And finally, strategically become the information hub to build that expert power. And that really leaves us with one last question to think about. There is a huge difference between being someone who just does the work they're assigned and being someone who can actually get things done no matter what obstacles or departments stand in the way. So, which one do you want to be?
喜欢这种学习方式，欢迎订阅我的频道，让我们一起用下一个10分钟，把商业英文变简单。